You're at those Ks again where it's time for an oil change, and changing it is simpler than you think. We're going to show you how. Hey guys, I'm Molly.
And I'm Dan, and welcome to the Mag Garage.
In this series, we're going to arm you with a bit more car knowledge.
And who knows, next time your car needs some care and attention, we could even save you some cash.
This is Madvice.
Some simple tools are all you'll need. A pair of axle stands, a jack, spanners, something to drain the oil into, and something to dispose of it once you've drained it out.
Some fresh oil, a funnel, a rag, oil filter, some tools to get the oil filter on and off, and a fresh sump plug washer. If you're unsure what size like me, just buy a few. First step is to jack the car up so you can access the sump. Obviously it's a lot easier if you have a hoist, but otherwise pop it up with a jack, pop a couple axle stands underneath so you can get to the sump, find the sump plug and drain the old oil.
Yeah, it's really convenient for you to get under the hoist at this height.
I know what you're talking about, this is perfect height.
I might go look. Actually, it is. It's, if I stand with my head like near a cylinder head,
do you want to hold that?
I'd love to.
There we go. Alrighty, so yeah, obviously it's going to start pouring out in a second.
Can you do it without getting your glove oily? This is the mark of, I don't want to say. Okay, you ready? I'd say that is a big fat no.
Wow, okay, that was...
And that's why I'm really glad I didn't say this is the mark of an amateur before she did that, because that would be really embarrassing for me.
Probably fair. So when you drain the oil, just a couple of things to look out for. You know, it's the colour of the oil and things like that. You can just get a good gauge. Obviously, if there's anything metallic that comes out, which happened when we changed to the gearbox oil in our rally car. What is that? Yeah, but it'll be right, won't it? That is bad. So just take a look at the oil and make sure that everything looks all right.
Can I just take a point to mention...
That's why you got those gloves.
I put on nitrile gloves, and Molly was like, as if I'm going to put on my cool mechanics gloves, which are cool, but they are highly oil absorbent, and these are not. So my top tip is wear a nitrile glove.
Do what Dan says.
Yes.
So when you're changing the oil, it's also a good time to just change the washer that comes between the sump and the sump plug. So I wasn't sure what size it was, so I bought a few. Thankfully tried to make a great option. Support the Aussies, good quality products. You can pick these up from Supercheap Auto as well. Pop that on. And then just want to clean all the oil off. Sump plug back on. That's a key thing to remember. I'm sure we've all changed oil at some point, forgetting to put that plug back in. Or have we? You wouldn't have.
Oh no, I've done all the stupid things. Literally every stupid thing you can think of, I have done it.
Nip that up?
With a car, yes.
I normally nip that up and then I go, Dan, can you check?
Yeah, which is good. That's good to get someone.
It's a teamwork.
Second opinion, yeah, exactly.
Teamwork.
Really, really important thing. You know, like the rule with bonnet catches? Like you either have the bonnet open or closed with the catches
never leave
in.
it.
Right, sump plug, the rule is it's either out or in and tight. There's no two other ways, no other way, because I have done this, is you just pop it in, you go, oh, I'll tighten that up in a minute, fill up the oil, forget you've not tightened it, thing drops out and catastrophe. So it's either out or in and tight.
So when it comes to taking the oil filter on and off, there's a couple of different tools you can use. These are two common ones. This one is good if you're changing a few different types of filters because it's got adjustable to a certain size, so you can do it with a few different filters. This one here is the ultimate one. Ryco basically make this bespoke cap that fits on the exact filter, so you know that it's going to be nice and snug, you're not going to damage anything, and it just makes it a lot easier to crack off. Unwind that slowly, there's going to be lots of oil coming down.
Top tip, in a lot of drain pans, you'll have this mysterious little spike here. That is to pop your old oil filter on and drain safely into the pan with all the other oil. Nice little gadget. Obviously, disposing of oil correctly is utmost importance, and Supercheap will take your recycled oil up to 10 litres in any one container. So make sure you do the right thing, dispose of your oil correctly.
New oil filter. Great thing about Supercheap Auto is you don't know what filter you need. You can go in store, type in your car model, and it'll pop up with which filter you need, so you know you're buying the right one. First thing you need to do before you put a brand new oil filter on is put a bit of oil on that seal. All right, that's ready to go on.
Hey, it's me again with another top tip. Make sure the old O-ring has come off of the block.
Oh, that's a good
That is
one.
a classic mistake I see a lot of people make.
You can see here, this one is
Yes.
clear to go.
If you don't make sure that's out of the way, you put on 2 O-rings and it will make oil go everywhere when the engine starts.
Oh no. Okay. So first thing, just with your, want to do this hand tight, well, start the thread with your hands so you don't cross thread it, because that would be very disappointing, and then just get that hand tight. Cool, and then clean it off so you can get a bit better grip. This obviously needs to be tight, but you don't want to over tighten it. So if you start to use tools, you can risk doing that.
You're right, this just has to be hand tight. If you get on there with the tool, they naturally tighten up with use and then it will never come off again.
Cool, that is done under here. We will bring it down, put the oil in.
Make sure everything's nice and clean, no oil left anywhere. Because on Subarus, the exhaust goes right past the oil filter. So if you haven't cleaned it all off, you'll know about it shortly after starting the engine.
Also, you don't want to have the engine hot, obviously, when you change the oil. It wants to be...
warm.
Yeah, but you don't want to come in just straight from driving it with your hot
exactly.
exhaust and everything.
No,
and then...
definitely warm oil, because then it drains properly, but not hot, obviously, yeah.
When it comes to what oil, obviously we recommend Castrol. If you can see here, there's a little barcode at the front of these bottles, and then you can check out what exact oil grade you need for your car. Obviously, it's very important to put the right grade of oil with the right engine. But all that info you can find there. Funnel, but the other thing that I always do, because as you have seen, I'm messy, is I put a rag around it as well. So anyway, we'll make a start, and then we can keep an eye on the level as we get closer. I'm not going to put the whole 5 litres in at the start. I'm going to try and put like 4.5. Obviously, when you're checking the oil levels as well, firstly, when you first do it, you want to give it a bit of time to make sure that the oil is draining all the way down into the sump so you get the correct reading. Once you've checked it, it's also a good idea to then run the engine, let it cool down, and then do a double final check at that point as well, just to make sure once everything's moved through the engine, everything's cooled down again. Don't want to do it when it's hot, wait till it's cooled down, double check, and then you're good to go.
Also,
would you say that?
That's absolutely sage advice. The other reason, of course, is you've got a new oil filter on there and that needs to be filled up. It's completely bone dry at the moment, so you'll lose a few, like maybe a couple hundred mils of oil, which will register on a dipstick in the filter. So once the engine's run, as Molly says, then you'll get an accurate reading.
Run and re-dip it. Okay, so I've put in now about 4 litres. So we'll leave that, run it, top it up, send it.
If you are thinking of changing the oil in your own car, it's highly likely you have an older vehicle that is out of warranty and doesn't have any kind of servicing deals left on it. And if that's the case, then this is a very good way of saving some cash.
If you have a new car, obviously, cap price servicing, warranties, you want to make sure that you keep those warranties. So you're going to need to go to a dealership or to a licensed mechanic. For me, I'll always take my Subaru to the Subaru dealer. So something to keep in mind if you've got a new vehicle.
And if in doubt with anything at all, always consult your service manual or contact the vehicle manufacturer if there's any questions surrounding anything we've talked about here.
And if you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below.
Yes. What should we do for Mad Advice next?
Subscribe.
I already do subscribe.
Oh.
It means my own channel. Why wouldn't I?
You better subscribe. Do you subscribe?
Yeah, of course. Do you?
I'm going to check. I don't know.
As if she hasn't checked already.